Fishman Air-Free Technology. A comparison of the Fishman air-free pencil gun versus competitive guns. Fishman Corporation puts its 50 years of fluid dispensing experience into the design of its products. Products must be designed to withstand the rigors of the 24/7, 260-day-a-year production environment. This video will do an in-depth comparison of Fishman's design versus the competition. The Fishman pencil gun was designed by engineers who understand the production environment completely. With the highest quality materials, well-thought-out design, and precision machining, Fishman Corporation manufactures the finest fluid dispensing systems worldwide. A forensic autopsy of our competition's design will reveal a deep concern as to the quality of their product, the experience behind their design, and whether they understand fluid dispensing at all. The competition's motor moves up and down the gun shell as the lead screw turns. This up and down movement creates friction between the motor and the gun shell, causing parts to wear over time. Due to the motor movement, the wire connecting the motor must be long enough for the motor to reach the bottom of the gun shell. This poor design means the wire is stretched and crunched repeatedly inside the small gun shell cylinder. The solder joints connecting the wire to the motor and the cord are weak and susceptible to breaking. The stress of extending and retracting creates catastrophic failure potential. It's just a matter of time before the gun shell wears, the connections break, or the wire fails. Fishman's design adds a locking nut. The locking nut secures Fishman's motor to the gun shell, locking Fishman's motor assembly and connecting wire in a fixed position. Removing motor movement from the design assures the motor will cycle hundreds of thousands of times without breaking down. A thrust coupling is added to assist the motor. The thrust coupling protects the motor bearings from the axial loads placed on the lead screw when dispensing viscous fluids and heavy pastes. The competition uses a motor only, no thrust coupling, which leaves the motor unprotected. The competition leaves their lead screw uncovered. Fishman's lead screw is completely encased in a protective drive tube. If assembly fluid gets on the competition's lead screw when reversed, adhesive can contaminate the threaded nut and gun shell chamber and destroy the motor. The Fishman pencil gun is a completely sealed chamber. If assembly fluid gets on the drive tube, the Teflon wiper cleans the drive tube as it retracts. Furthermore, there are no threaded nuts exposed to assembly fluid in the Fishman design. Both designs use software to determine the position of the piston in the syringe reservoir. It's very easy for software alone to lose track of the piston position over thousands of cycles. The Fishman pencil gun has a backup membrane switch. Every time the pencil gun is fully retracted, the membrane switch is triggered, sending an electronic signal to tell the control unit the gun is retracted. This assures the software never loses position. The competition's lead screw rotates. In turn, this causes the piston to rotate. The piston is in direct connection with the assembly fluid in the syringe reservoir. The rotation of the piston will heat and stress the assembly fluid, and potentially change the bonding properties. Also, the rotating movement will allow fluid to seep between the piston and syringe barrel. This erodes fluid deposit repeatability and will allow assembly fluid onto the lead screw. The Fishman design is a straight forward and back linear motion without any rotation. This pushes fluid out of the syringe reservoir in a controlled manner. It does not heat or stress the assembly fluid and protects fluid formations. The integrity of the piston's front seal is maintained, assuring no assembly fluid makes it past the piston. The competition's piston is pressed fit onto the lead screw. Without a positive locking mechanism, reverse motion can cause the piston to become loose or disengage. If the piston is loose, it will erode fluid deposit repeatability. If it disengages, the system must be stopped and repaired. The Fishman design uses an industrial thread where the piston is twisted on and locked in place. Because the movement of the screw is linear, no rotation, There is no way the piston can loosen or become detached. This lock design assures the highest fluid deposit repeatability possible.